Hey God, this just came to my spirit, so I want to speak on this, and hopefully I can deliver the message the way that God wants me to, how I perfectly understand it. Hopefully I could translate this into words. Okay. But there is something about how people try so hard to be perfect in this world, right? And maybe you're guilty of this. Okay, trying to be so perfect, okay? Only doing the good or only doing what you classify as good, only asking God for good things, not wanting to take on any bad things because you may be afraid. You're just asking God for all the good, 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 not realizing that the world is already full of bad and good. All right. Not realizing that God can take something bad, and create it good or turn it good or take something good and make it bad. So even if you're doing so much good or asking God for so much good, this is how you can still be a sinner, or you can still be looked at as someone who, is still flawed because you're trying so hard to be this perfect person that doesn't even exist. We're not meant to be on earth to try to be perfect. We're meant to be on earth to just complete the lessons that God has placed over our life. Okay? Not to be perfect. It's how you're going to heal or move out of that lesson. So you trying not to get the bad in your life, you trying so hard to not go through trials and tribulations, you trying so hard to stay away from bad sometimes, it's actually going to cause you more pain because now you can be stuck in a cycle that is never changing because you're still doing the same quote unquote good things. Before you become that shining diamond, it takes you being, in the dirt, in the ground. Okay, before someone rises up, they may have to be crucified, they may have to be talked about, they may have to make some mistakes that they may, look back on and be like, what the hell? But that's what makes them good. That's what makes their story good. You so busy trying to be this perfect saint that does not even exist. What God wants us to do is, with all things, look at the good side. With all things, create a good. Okay, it may not be the best situation that you're in right now, your living situation, your work situation. It may not be the best, but God still wants you to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Look for the good. Believe that there is some good within this. Believe that there is a lesson here. Believe that there is a blessing. Believe that I will overcome this situation. Believe that I will make it through this situation. But if you're so busy scared, because that's really what it is. You're really scared. Okay? You're scared to fall into what you think is bad things. But sometimes what we think is bad, God may not even care about being bad, or he may not even look at it as bad. It may just be a human thing. All right. Don't let that go over your head. So sometimes we're pushing things away. We're pushing big lessons and blessings in our life because we keep asking God for the good. No, maybe you need to go somewhere that is considered bad for you to get this good news, or for you to get this. You get what I'm trying to say here? Stop trying to be so perfect and just make the mistakes. Some of you are like, I'm not out here dating. This is an example. I'm not out here dating. I'm just waiting for my husband. You're not going to meet nobody if you're not going out and about. So you mean to tell me you can't go to no events that is considered good to you? You just in the house all day, every day? You don't want to go out and socialize with nobody in this world? You don't have no hobbies or no interests. You just work, home, work, home. God is not calling you into something deeper, your passions or interest. It's really some people out here that think, I'm going to just live this perfect good life. And it's like, no, sometimes you do got to be a little bad. Sometimes it's out of your control. Sometimes you're just born into a bad fucking lifestyle. And it's about seeing the good. It's about seeing a way out. It's about believing that you can make it out. But if you're not going through the bad, you will probably never even think that this shit is real. This shit is possible. If things was already good for you, you wouldn't know what it feels like to be down and out, to be humble. A lot of people that already got it going good, they ain't the most humble people in the world. So you want to go through some bad shit, because then you appreciate when good things come along. Then you know what is good. If you've been around enough bad partners, You know what a good partner looks like. This is why some of y'all, you get with somebody, it's bad, and then you decide to be celibate, abstinent, whatever. And then it's some people, they don't even want to date. They ain't doing nothing. They just single forever for years. And then you get in a relationship and guess what? It's bad again. Why? Because you never learned those lessons. You just took mad long. You took more years of you just being on the same goddamn lesson. Just because years pass by does not mean you have grown or you got the wisdom. Okay, that means just because you're older does not mean that you actually learned the lessons and you are wise. Some of y'all, you just letting time pass your ass and you still on the same damn lesson. You on the same level. You in the same class in spiritual courts. In the spiritual classrooms, I'm seeing some of y'all, you in the same damn lessons, thinking that, oh, if I just stay away from this for a long period of time instead of actually dealing with it and getting to know yourself and starting to attract the things that you really want to attract, changing what you're doing, changing what you're dealing with, changing with the type of people that you're going to be hanging with, changing the type of men you're going to invest in or women you're going to invest in, and start looking at yourself in the mirror and still come out to the world and conquer the world. That's what it's about. Because good and bad is going to continue to come. And a lot of times you need the bad before the good. That's just what life is. Sometimes you just got to go through hell before you make it to heaven. But if you avoiding walking through the valley of the shadow of death because you fearing evil, when you out here quoting that God is with you, but you're not faithful, you're not ready to really go out there and explore and get to know yourself. It's all about a deep self-healing here. Anybody telling you otherwise, they false. It is about deep healing and understanding yourself. And you only learn to understand yourself by being in some bullshit multiple times. And then you learn the lessons. Nobody is above the program. You're not. You are a video game. Okay, you're part of a video game and you need to learn the motherfucking lessons to get to the next level and the next level and the next level. Some of y'all ain't beating your opponents. Some of you are hiding out. Some of you, you're fighting, the opponent win, you give up. You never get back on the game. And you think because time passed, you're going to get in that rank and you just going to kill shit. Sometimes people do. But sometimes you don't. You end up getting with the same type of partner with a different mask on, but it's the same spirit because you have not actually learned. You have not actually been experiencing or just dealing with life. You don't let somebody push you down and now you hiding out. Now you don't want to date no more. Now you don't want to have no new friends. Now you don't want to create a family. Now all your dreams and goals is in the toilet now. You don't never give somebody power over you like that. But that's basically what you're doing. And God is sick of people just always trying to be this perfect person. You're not meant to be perfect. You're meant to learn the lessons. You're meant to learn how to use your intuition. That's the whole fucking point here, is to learn how to connect with God. Okay? Learn that you are one with God. That's it. But if you hiding from all the lessons, all the bullshit that may come with it, you scared to stand up for yourself. You scared to leave a relationship. You scared to leave a family house. You scared to really take that risk, leave a job, leave something that is no longer serving you purposely in your life, and you scared, you avoiding going to the next level. You ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself. You're just delaying your blessings, because there's always a blessing that comes with the lesson. That's the gag. That's what's supposed to keep you going, is that you know that no matter what you go through, yet do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, it comforts me. Okay? That's you knowing that God is there to comfort you. That's you knowing that God is speaking to you through your intuition. That's you knowing that God is within you. Okay, remember when Jesus, he knew that God was within him, and he walked with a specific type of confidence. He was able to heal and speak to people, right? Because of this. You got to learn the God within you. But you don't learn the God within you until you really go up against some demons and some enemies. If you scared to walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you ain't going to get nowhere. You're not going to get nowhere. God can't protect you because you're not there. You're not in the field. You didn't show up to the fight. You want to be David, but you ain't show up to fight Goliath. You keep missing the fight, actually. You know, and that fight could be you moving forward. That fight could be you setting some boundaries, or you learning what you want to accept and what you don't want to accept. It could be simple things that you do over time. It don't have to be no big drastic change, but just simple things that you're like, okay, this is not really good. Let me stop doing this. Maybe do this a different way, or go about this another way, or try something over here. You know, little baby steps. And then those grow bigger and bigger and bigger. But do baby steps and start trusting yourself with the baby steps. And then soon you're going to trust yourself with the big steps. And then you're going to take really huge, big leaps of faith. Confirmation. But the faith part is important, because you're taking this leap knowing that God is going to save you. Knowing that this is walking through the valley of the shadow of death. This is, this might be a pay cut, or I might have to move. I might have to relocate. Or I might got to downsize, or I got to upsize, or I got to do this, or I got to do that. This is what that means by walking through the valley of the shadow of death. You feel me? This may be unconventional, unorthodox, or this may be traditional. Whatever it may be for you, right? But that's you walking through the valley. But while you're walking, you know that God is comforting you with his staff and his rod. It's telling you, meaning that God is giving you the signs. God is leading the way. Think about Moses with his rod that he had. Every time a situation came up, he was able to use the rod. He was able to trust on God, or trust in God, knowing that God was there with him. So whenever he needed to point the rod or do anything with the rod, things happened because he knew that it was God. He trusted in God. So now God was able to work through him, because God wants to show himself off through his children, through his people. So when you're someone of faith and you're walking through the valley and you're trusting in God, you know that God is with you. He's pleased. He's happy. It's all about faith, having faith in yourself. God can't be inside of you if you don't have faith in yourself. He don't live there. The devil will. That's fear. All right. So if you're someone that you don't bet on yourself, you don't love yourself, you don't do what's good for yourself, God cannot really reside in you, because you're not 100 within yourself. You're not an authentic self person. If you're trying to be somebody else, or you're chasing things that God really don't want you to be chasing, God can't really dwell in you, because it's not safe there. It's not at peace there. It's unstable there. It's unsure. It's confused. Even if you're in some type of relationship that God don't really want you there, it's confusing. It's not a bright future. There's no stability, or if it is, it's just too comfortable. You're not able to do what God wants you to do, or this person is not doing what God needs them to do. Maybe it's bigger, but you two together, y'all not in your highest consciousness. So God can't live there. He's not in you because of what you got going on, So it's really about having faith that you can do whatever you need to do. But that faith has to come with understanding that you're going to be walking through the valley of the shadow of death, and things is going to happen. Things you may not like. You may not like yourself. You may be like, dang, why did I do that? Or why did this happen? Because maybe you was walking through the valley of the shadow of death and some things happen. But one day you're going to look back and be like, it is what it is. It had to take place for me to get to where I am now. You living in regret, you feeling like guilty, like you can't move on because something took place or something happened in your past. That's the enemy. The enemy wants you to stay stuck on that guilt and pain and sorrow and feel ashamed about yourself. God wants you to know it's okay. He forgive you. He just wants you to continue on with the path. Don't let it get to you. Because usually the bad is followed up with something good. So yes, that could have happened. That was so bad. But look at what was taking place now, and you're not letting it kill you. You're still moving on. You're still waking up grateful. You still love God. You're not cursing God. You're not upset with God, because we're just really out here learning. That's the point. But if you're not making it to class because you're trying to avoid everything bad. Oh, no. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, no. You might be missing a couple lessons that is needed to go to the next level. This is why some people be stuck at certain levels. They get awakened, but they stay at that bottom tier, and then people get stuck in like religions, or they get stuck in like politics, and they be super stuck on that type of shit. because they not actually going to the next level. They're like, okay, I need to be this person and do this and follow this religion to be close to God and do this and follow, and it's just like, God is king. Like, y'all got too many people having power over his people. Religion, politics, is just so many people having power over God's people. And he's just like, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. You did. Don't let that go over your head, period. But anyhow, stop trying to be perfect. That's not what God is looking for. God is not looking for perfect people because you look stupid. Imagine coming forward to God and you trying to be all perfect. And he's like, girl, you already a sinner. It's just in you, baby. And that's not what we're here for. What we're here for is for you to complete some things in your lifeline. Okay? For you to learn yourself and then learn me and learn that I am in you. And then you can start to help other people or do for people. That's what God wants. So all that trying to be all good and being overly critical and judgmental on other people because you're trying to live up to this good, superficial thing. That's what we're going to call it, a thing. Because that's all it is, just a thing. It's stupid. It's stupid. Confirmation is really stupid. Because first of all, you're lost. You don't get what we're here for. So you still just a lost person in this game. Just walking around lost. You haven't realized that you actually have the control. You can actually go in the driver's seat or you can actually just start fucking moving. Instead you sitting up, I'm going to just stay right here, do this. You ain't exploring your life because people telling you can't do that because it's against your religion or it's against God or it's considered bad. You ain't exploring your hobbies. You ain't doing shit that you really get a passion desire for because other people might think that it's bad. That's the devil. That ain't nothing but the devil, child. But anyhow, I love you all and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Bye.